just,
All right, we have the treasurer here for our morning meeting. What's going on there, Terry?
we're collecting taxes.
Collecting taxes.
So I don't have a report. I have a report, but I don't have it written. Cause I'm failed. So I'll send it over to you next week.
Just a little busy, huh?
We're a little busy. We have about 300 tax payments in the safe. So I'm working on balancing the daily stuff while Paulette's posting today. Denise is posting today. We had a lady call this morning yelling at us because she mailed her check exactly 2 weeks and 2 days ago, and we haven't processed it yet. It was in the next pile. It was right on top. I found it pretty quick. So, which we won't go down that pathway. That's not true, but anyway. So there's that. We wired money yesterday to pay for Mr. Taylor's piece of equipment. So I hope that makes him happy.
Was that the,
Road. I
oh,
don't
that,
know,
Road
something.
that thing he was talking
It
about?
was
Road guard.
$3,200 or
Road guard.
whatever from Amsterdam. Certainly, there's got to be somebody in the US. that
Yeah,
does.
that's really a weird thing.
But be that as it may, that's none of my business. I did wire it. I talked to the company. I did all the research. And then I decided it was only $3,235. So worst case scenario,
We're all $300.
I know, but it still makes me very nervous.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
makes me very nervous to wire. The lady at that company told me that in Amsterdam, they don't process checks anymore.
We couldn't put it on the credit card. Did we figure that out?
Well, the credit card fee would be outrageous.
Oh, was it?
Mhm.
Okay.
So that was another part of the reason why I went ahead and did it. So it's $25 to wire. And it was 3% of the 32, so it's probably only $90, but we're trying to keep costs down, so.
We're having to keep on.
So we are keeping costs down, so it was important to me not to. So we haven't actually posted it to his fund yet because I have to get from Ginger the fund numbers to actually charge it to, but it's gone. It left yesterday. And I believe the lady in Amsterdam is happy, and
I think it's.
I'm assuming Bear is
happy.
happy.
Yeah, Bear said it's getting installed on the truck today, so.
So assuming Bear is happy, he
They
didn't
thought your-
respond to
They
my,
thought your money was good.
so Bear didn't say that he didn't say anything to me. So anyway, it's gone. So we are processing, we're probably depositing right now, I don't know. We deposited $100,000 yesterday. I haven't seen today's numbers, of course, because it's early yet. Yesterday's deposit. Yesterday's deposit would have been Friday, so it's, it's behind a day.
We will collect about 6 million.
I think we'll collect. Well, we should collect closer to 10 million.
10 million.
Because we billed 22 million,
Oh, okay.
so,
So half of that. Okay.
yeah, and we already got paid by, Ash Grove, and that's $1 million, so we got paid by Ash Grove already, so.
Ashgrove pays $1 million a year.
It's lots than it used to be. It's only 900,000 and something, not really a million, but 900 and whatever. So they used to pay a lot more. So
Why has it gone down?
well, I think there's some changes in the business exemption tax and
Well, we gave them exemption on some property tax.
yeah,
New industrial or whatever.
yeah,
it's
there's
called.
lots of reasons. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a huge difference, but there is a difference. Of course,
There are only gross proceeds here.
right. Tunnels, the attorney sent me a notice and asked me for an updated past due on the mineral tax, which I sent to him yesterday. That was 3.7 million. That was the updated quote as of the end of the month, end of December. So he has that. He's doing some type of motion response. I don't know what that recent motion is, but anyway, on that, I am creating a chart for him somewhere in the middle of the night. I haven't quite finished it yet.
Still,
Of
in here.
all the taxes that are passed due. Well, it's kind of, I have a spreadsheet set up and I have everything there. I just have to finish the numbers. But with this collecting, I haven't had a chance. So, like I said, I have two people focusing just on those taxes, because they don't need to be harassed by people because their checks are in the safe, so. Anyway, we won't go down there. We're good.
I think I remember how to do that. I could do that.
You wanna come post?
I could-
You gotta retire in January, we need you in May, come on back.
Can they wait a month?
No, our taxpayers wouldn't be happy. I think otherwise. So we, the one other big thing I got a letter from a gentleman named Todd Watkins. He's a consultant for schools. He's a CPA out of Belgrade. And, him and the school board have all agreed at Whitehall, they want to pull all their funds out of the county. And I'll send you their resolution, because I won't sign it without you all looking at it. Steve's looking at it. So what that means that all we'll do is collect taxes and payments from the state, and then basically cut them a check at the end of the month and send it to them. And then they handle all their money. The only thing that will get left here is any investment money that they have. Because that would cripple the county's interest. You know how we what's the word I'm looking for? Forecast interest. All that money that's in there is part of that forecast. So they won't pull they won't pull that money out
This year.
this year.
Will they pull it when it matures?
Well, it's all at STIP.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't have anything separate.
But they won't have it here next year.
But this won't start till July 1 of 2025. So they're saying they're not pulling any of that investment out. At least that's what the resolution says.
How much do they have
Oh, I don't know about,
in the investment?
oh, in the investment part, it's probably less than $1 million. It's not a lot. And they want to do their own investments, and they want to handle their own money. And
They'll try it for a while.
I said that to Mr. Watkins, who is very much an advocate for doing this. He's talked Gallatin County into doing it. He talked a couple other counties into doing it. 3 counties that I know have already returned to the county. And when I asked him about that, he says because the staff isn't qualified to manage that, and he believes Alyssa is. And I'm not going to say in a public meeting how I truly feel about that, because there are some
Let 'em do it.
issues
Let
that
'em do
have
it.
not been resolved.
That's up to
So
them.
that's okay.
That's mine.
That's okay. The law doesn't really allow them to do that. The law does not really allow them to manage their own money. Unless OPI and the county all agree. So that's why Steve needs to read that resolution. And then you all need to look at it too. And then OPI has to tell me that it's okay as well.
Okay.
And then we'll sign it, and then it's fine. That's okay. I mean, when I met them for lunch last year, when they first started this conversation, I didn't feel she was ready to do this, and I was not going to support it. So I know there's school board members that called me and asked me questions about it, and one of them was definitely against it, but she must have, I don't know what the vote was. I wasn't there. So anyway, so that's gonna come up July 1 of 25. We'll just disperse whatever they have that isn't tied to an investment and whatever.
So what?
Well, they got those Edward Jones.
The only Edward Jones they have is there's one.
I thought they had 2.
There, Cardwell has, yeah, they do,
Cardwell.
Cardwell has one. Actually, she's pretty much closing all those, and they're up at STIP. I run a separate STIP for Cardwell. So they have 2 that I get copies of those statements on. So I don't know if those are gonna stay in place. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, we're named on those. I
We
guess,
are.
So we'd have to transfer that back to them.
Right, well, they're on there too. I mean, that's
But we'd
2
have to-
signers, yeah. I'm not a super fan, although, you know, like Mr. Watkins pointed out to me, well, you know, it's less work for you. Well, yeah,
For now,
for now.
until they come back.
And I have
With
to
a
fix
mess.
it.
We're recording right now, so when we're done with that meeting.
So at what point do they get their investment money out of our STIP?
Well, according to the resolution, it doesn't say when they're gonna ask for that. So,
Should that be clarified?
I think I'm gonna have to go back and read that resolution. I read it fast and then I sent it to Steve and I haven't read it in detail yet. I don't think they intend to take it based on that, but we probably should add in there, like you have to give us 60 days notice or we need to, I think we need to add some type of notice system, just like if I was gonna withdraw a large amount of money from the bank, I would give
Or
them
set it as a
notice.
time frame like
Yeah,
June?
yeah, or something. We should do something, Ginger, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Before July 1st.
Yeah.
Whenever they decide.
So right now, that resolution says they don't intend to, and this thing is dated July 1 of 2025. So they don't intend to take it. But maybe we should add something to that that says you must give a certain amount of notice. Because that would make sense, because when I forecast that interest for Kim, I'm including all of that money, not just,
Mhm.
so, and my forecast is usually lower than what I think is gonna happen, but still, we don't wanna take a hit. Because we need that income. So,
Issue review, yeah.
so we need it all the time. I think it's important. I think it's an important part of that process, but.
We're not gonna have another year, so.
Yeah, right now interest is still a little bit high.
Oh, when they pull their money out, we won't get that
Yeah.
interest, so, yeah.
So we have another investment firm that I've been looking at that does more localized investing. It's Buchanan Capital out of Billings. Mr. Gary Buchanan, you've met before, but anyway, I've been talking with him. Multibank is doing a great job for us. They track every CD, they track every thing that's going on, so you don't make the
I saw the
error.
report one time and it did look.
Yeah, I
pretty
need to
nice.
bring you that. I should bring you that report. That's not, I should do that, and I have forgotten to do that. You need to remind me, because my brain is not. But, I should report that to you every month, actually. So I'll make that a note when I get back over there. They do a very good job of tracking those so that we don't accidentally buy 2 CDs at one bank and aren't covered by FDIC. So they're very good at doing that. So if I bring in another investment firm, then we have to make sure that they're checking those as well. So that's why multi-bank securities is so good, because they track it all. And they don't ever buy from the same outfit, which is a good thing. So Valley Bank, I need to change all the signers. You know, Valley Bank owns Rocky Mountain down south now.
I don't think I was ever a signer, Valley Bank, around Rocky Mountain.
I don't know that for sure, but they did send me new signature cards last week because I didn't want to take the chance. Not that I don't trust you, but we probably have to change everything. And
Get mulling off those.
I don't wanna-
take it off step.
I don't want to be a signer when I'm,
No.
I'm not.
And we'll put Corey or Dan
We're
on or
supposed
something.
to, at that training, didn't they say something how we're supposed to update that stuff every year?
You know, it's funny that I made a note of that.
That's
They asked us to review and update, and so that's what caused me to, when I went back to look at that Valley Bank account. Because I think I've got Corey switched out on some of the other stuff already. So what I need to do is pull it all, make sure that,
Yeah, my stuff's over here, I think.
yeah, but I think I pulled you off already anyway.
I'm
In
still- I'm
preparation.
still getting it when I look up my account.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not.
So I can transfer from the account.
Bonnie had that issue too. She.
Been after on there forever.
I mean, it may stop me if I try or something.
Well, no, I'm gonna check with Rhonda, because I'm pretty sure I changed it. I'm pretty sure that
I'm not responsible for that shortage you have.
I'm not short, I'm over. It's
Oh,
not
you're
short.
Okay, no,
Here's the point, it's over.
they
And the
transferred-
thing is, and I told this to Ginger the other day, it's gone from that $20,000+ down to 7. So something changed. I haven't figured it out, and I want to call a forensic audit, but then John Paul will be here in February, and then he'll write me up
You
again
found-
for
you
being out of
found out.
balance.
You found out what it was.
He did?
The schools.
Well,
Their
Their-
IRS
their-
payments.
there is a
Treasury
bureau.
treasury
I
tax,
fixed a lot.
treasury tax and loan.
I fixed a lot at that big high school here that's in this county. There's 2 big high schools, so you get to choose which one. But
Yeah.
I fixed a lot.
It's their treasury tax and loan stuff. They're not.
I
telling you
fixed a
about.
lot. And I fixed all of it in October. So, we'll see how November looks, but November's tax month. That's why every day we have to balance. We can't let anything sit. Every day, one of us has to balance yesterday's work, because otherwise between the credit card payments and the e-check payments and
It's hard, doesn't it?
it's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much for any normal brain. It takes a good 2 hours to make sure.
And there's
everything's
multiple entries, you know,
Yeah.
so it's not an easy.
So like the
thing,
one that's
right?
on the desk now is from Friday, it's easy, but the one that's sitting there in the thing to do is Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And that's all those web payments that come in over the, on the web, and all the electronic checks and all that. Some of them are American Express and some of them are MasterCards. And American Express always posts differently than the credit card. It's
It's a mess.
anybody that just sat down for the first time would go, I have no freaking clue what you're doing. So it's Paula and I are the only ones that understand it enough. But Maggie's gonna have to be trained here pretty soon, and Christine wants to learn, but both of them need to wait till
I've done it, but
December,
it's been a long time.
because it's just too much. It's too much. And if the school is gone, I guess it wouldn't be any big deal. The thing is, we just have to write them a check once a month, just like we do the cities and towns. It's not huge. I just feel like whatever, it's their deal. They want to do it, I guess it's their deal. We have a $50,000 CD that matured at this bank that belonged to Jefferson High School. So I did mix it into the STIP funds, and I am calculating that interest for them. It's not a lot, but it's something, and we need to do a resolution to make a separate STIP account just for that $50,000. Lori's not even sure it's on her books, which scares me when she says stuff like that. I go, it has to be on your books. I've been crediting it to you for the last 10 years.
50,000, I'm not sure it's here. Wow.
You're scaring me, but that's okay. They're just I think they're all just overwhelmed. That whole bond payment system was extremely difficult. But they're making their second bond payment this month, so they've got the money, so we're good. So I'll get that report and I'll send it over to you, and then I don't think there's anything else. So we did wire the money, which I'm gonna have to ask you how to expense it for Bear, for the road department. So we did wire 32, 35, 10 or whatever it was. That left. Jake and Rhonda were very nervous about doing that too, but we all did
Oh, this
separate.
next wire?
Well, granted, it was only $3,200, but we're like a little gun shy.
Their experience with the Jefferson County. has been
Oh,
bad,
gosh.
yeah.
But I told you all right, that we did get
How did you get it back?
Yeah, you told-
$7,000
you told us, yeah.
back.
Cut most of it, yeah.
Well, I spent 2 hours at Wells Fargo Bank, not being happy. I'm not a happy person. And they just said, finally, well, we just can't help you. So then I came back and told Rhonda and Ron, and I said, they think there's some way that you can send a note to Wells Fargo. So anyway, Madison sent a note to Wells Fargo and said, we believe this is fraud. Please research. I signed. I agreed not to hold them harmless. I agreed to hold them harmless from whatever their investigation found. In other words, I wouldn't sue them for the $47,000. And so I agreed. I filled out an email. I wrote a nice email. I signed it and sent it to them, and then I didn't hear a word. So I thought, okay, well. And then 2 weeks later, Rhonda goes, you're not gonna believe this. Wells Fargo just sent us. So I think it was
Who
timing.
was the payer, FDIC?
Who was the payer?
Okay, where'd the money come from?
From the bank account that money was wired to. So what I think happened, if I understand how fraud works, this is what Shane kind of told me some of this. So when I wired that money to that fraudulent account, right, other people probably wired money to that fraudulent account too. So it just so happened that when Wells Fargo went in to look
It had a
based
ba-
on my
it had a
indemnity
balance,
bond,
so-
they had money and it pulled it out.
Okay.
Because most fraud wires, they go in and get immediately transferred out to whatever bank
Mhm.
account. But Wells Fargo Bank, unbeknownst to them, when I called the FBI, I had gotten I'm not gonna reveal my source, the name and the account number. I got the name of that person and the account number that was held at Wells Fargo Bank. So I reported that to the FBI. Here's who I believe owns that account. So between the FBI, I think the pressure and us, that's the only way we got that money back. And it just happened to have money in that account. at the moment.
Never happen again.
It'll never happen again. That was pure,
Either way.
unadulterated blessing. It was just timing. It was just timing.
We won't lose it. We won't have to collect
We
it.
still lost $5,000, but you know what? We didn't lose it, the high school did, but $5,000 better than 50. So I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Lori's happy with it, and I told her,
I wouldn't even report the 5,000 to the board. You know, it's such a small amount.
and I told her, you gotta watch those emails. I mean, we've all learned a lesson, and she especially. You gotta watch those emails. When they switch, if that tail's different than it was when the beginning of your conversation, there's something wrong.
The suffix, yeah.
Well, yeah, the ending, you know, like Coons at Jefferson County
Dot.
.mt.gov is probably not hyphen mt.gov.
.gov C or whatever it is. Yeah.
So it's, you know, you gotta watch those tails.
They have
That's
to-
what I call
They
them.
add another letter on that suffix. You know, makes it.
Well, we're having a lot of it because I'm getting all these phishing it. I shouldn't say all
I've
this.
gotten a lot too.
It feels like I'm overwhelmed with them right now, and maybe I'm just,
But I'm so gun shy now, I'm afraid to even open them all.
maybe I'm the one that just being ultra sensitive to it, so it could be that it's not anything
I got
But
an email from Corey yesterday while I was standing at the fairgrounds talking to you guys. It said, no phone calls. This has to be discreet. I'm like,
Corey, he sends those messages quite
I
often.
know, and then our elections inbox got the same one too, and I'm like, I got the same one like a year ago. Same
Hmm.
kind of thing.
So we really need to keep, and Shane's he's doing an awesome job of reminding people. Because it's so easy to click on the wrong thing. So easy to just, even my husband, who I think is one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life, got suckered. He pressed a button, and as soon as he did it, he went, oh my, you know, but he was sick at the time. And he just wasn't thinking.
We get in a hurry, you know.
Yeah, and so we were able to stop it because within 5 minutes, he was on the phone with, you know, everybody that was even on his computer. But if you don't pay attention, you could really lose a lot quick. So and Shane, he sent out
I don't
emails
have
after
a lot.
emails.
So.
They can have it. Anyway, so I feel very good about that. I really do. It took a lot of time, but it's
Lesson learned.
it's a very good lesson learned. So we will be here over next week, of course. We don't have anybody out except for Friday, Maggie and Paulette will probably be out, but the rest of us will be here. And I haven't looked at Christmas yet, but anyway, so that's good. I won't be here on the 17th because the Department of Justice has the only day they can schedule us to learn how to do the finance side of cars is the 17th of December. But we can talk anytime. You know where I'm at.
We do.
Thank you, Terry.
Okay, I'm hiding behind Paulette's desk today. So when I just happened to walk in my office and clean an email and there's Helen. I'm like, oh, is that today? I thought it was the 20th. So I'm struggling to keep together.
Yeah.
Yeah,